Do you ever say something with the purest of intentions and someone still takes it the wrong way? And now you have to repeat yourself. You have to explain yourself again. It's not what you said, it's how you said it. And I used to be so frustrated with this before, until I learned that communication is more than words. It's your tone, your timing, your delivery. It's how your body leans forwards or backwards against the person you're communicating with. It's how your facial expression changes. You see, people feel your words more than they hear them. And of course, I've had this a lot with people when they say that right after they're done explaining something or how they feel, they ask you, "Do you feel me?" I've seen it in American movies and all that, when people talk and then at the end of it, they ask you if you feel them. They want you to feel them. So how do you speak for someone to feel you? And this is how you find yourself making that mistake, to be misunderstood, or somehow someone takes it the wrong way. For example, someone would find you, ask you a question. They want to know how you're faring, what's going on, and then I'll say in very different ways. For example, "I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine," or "It's fine." That's exactly the same words, very different tones, very different variations, very different feelings. And therefore, with this, you have an idea of how you're messing up your conversation, even when you think you're saying it right, or you're saying the right thing, just not in the right way. And that's how you are misunderstood, because it's not what you said, it's how you said it. It's your tone. They feel your tone, they feel your energy, even when you feel calm or you think you're calm. But here's the truth about what's weighing you down. It's exhausting to have to explain yourself so many times, all the time. It's exhausting to have to tell people about, "That's not exactly what I meant. That's not what I said." What can you do to fix this? Let's talk about 5 ways to stop repeating yourself. First of all, put yourself in your listener's place. Like, if that was me, how would I receive this? Okay? Place yourself in that other person's position and think of it their way. If that was you, how would you receive this? Sometimes we carry frustration, tiredness, sadness, unresolved emotions in our tones without realizing it. Pause and relax, and then speak with intentions. I know you're sad, you're tired, you have unresolved emotions, but are they all relevant in this particular moment in time? You have to give yourself a pause. You have to adjust to the current environment, to your current audience. Speak with intentions and not just content, okay? Not just content, speak with intention. That helps. Not everything needs a fast answer. Sometimes our words carry heat that not even our current conversation can handle or can cool down. So give yourself time before you can respond, so that you do not have to react. You see, reaction and response are 2 different things. And if you do not let yourself get that space to cool off or to sort out whatever it is that you have going on, you'll end up reacting instead of responding. That moment of pausing can save a relationship, can save a friendship, can keep that friendship going for a little bit longer. It builds trust, and you live with your respect, and you don't have to explain yourself, or "That's not what I meant," or "I was angry." Sometimes you even find yourself saying, "I was in a moment of heated argument." You see, it's not what you said, it's how you said it. It's probably true. I find myself in that situation where, and especially as ladies, when our emotions are heightened because of our hormones, sometimes because it happens, you can't ignore it. If you decide to feed into that energy of uncontrolled emotions or imbalances, you will find yourself saying things that are probably true, but how you say them is not right, okay? So I really hope that this conversation helped. You can use statements like, and especially if you can't avoid having that conversation when you're still in that particular moment, avoid using things like "you always," "you never," "you don't get it," and start saying things like "I feel like," "I noticed," and things like "I am hoping." But when you start like "I feel," when you start with statements like "I feel," "I noticed," or "I'm hoping," you see, you're starting a conversation not with an accusation, but with a response to how you are feeling, how that makes you feel, not how that person. You see, when you start with you, you're making that person be at the center of your whole universe of collapsing, which is not a very good thing. And the first thing that person does is come back with a defense, and that's not what you want. So the moment you start with I feel, because it's how you feel, and they would want to make sure you don't feel that way. Have you had the conversation where people say it's people can forget what you did, but they cannot forget how you made them feel? So the moment you start with something like I feel or I noticed, because it's a notice. Sometimes it may not have affected you that deep, and it was I noticed, or you say something like I was hoping that this. You see, it's not about that person. It's about how that whatever thing made you feel, or how particularly that thing is affecting how you feel about that other person. So it's not them. It's that thing between that whole situation. I statements protect you, protect your space, protects both of you from getting hurt or being in the center of an accusation, which is a very good way to avoid your other person feeling like a crap. So when you soften the conversation, when you soften that moment, that other person gets time to realize that, oh, I didn't actually know that that makes you feel that way, or that does affect you that much. You see, and if you don't understand something, instead of reacting completely, just ask for explanation. Ask them, hey, how did that come across to you? Or try something like, I just want to check. You see, they will want to explain, and they will see you care. You're not just releasing word for them and all that. They will understand that you care about what you said and how they feel about it. So ask for clarity. Check how that makes that person feels, without being condescending or sarcastic and all that, with genuine intention. That opens the door without drama and gives people to have that moment of clarity. And the last thing that we are going to touch on this is set yourself or set boundaries in your over-explaining. You do not have to explain yourself, and especially if you spoke your truth with clarity and respect, and that you are kind in your words, you don't really have to explain yourself in that way. It's okay to not explain what you said, and especially if you used or you shared with the right intentions. Like, for example, if I spoke clearly and I meant what I said, it's okay to tell someone, let's revisit this when you're ready, or when you're both ready. It's okay to say something like that. Like, if you said something with love, if you said something clearly, with intention, respectively, and with kindness, it's okay to not explain yourself. Okay, you can maybe remove yourself from the conversation, and you can maybe tell someone, let's revisit this conversation when you're both ready. You are not obligated to explain yourself or to tell about your good intentions. It's not necessary. And this one last step is very important, and that supports this whole conversation. Sometimes the person misunderstanding you a lot is not trying to understand you at all. They're listening to win, they're listening to twist, and sometimes they're just listening to reply. And recognizing that is very important, because you don't just want to speak to be heard, you want to speak to be understood. And sometimes people aren't looking for that, and no perfect explanation, no perfect sentence, no perfect tone can remedy that. So recognize that situation. So recognize that moment, that situation, that kind of person, and just remove yourself. It's not always the thing that you can fix, and you just have to move on. So to be understood comes from how you speak, and most importantly, how you show up. When you master your presence, your tone, and your emotional delivery, you stop needing to explain yourself over and over again. Have you ever been misunderstood because of how you said something? Let me know in the comment section. And if this video was beneficial to you, please make sure you hit subscribe so that we can keep growing on this channel. I thank you very much for subscribing to my channel, because it means a lot to me. We are now officially and genuinely at 500 subscribers, and I am so grateful for all of you being here. I can't tell you how grateful I am for your support. So make sure that you engage in the comment section, and keep on subscribing if you're seeing this video for the first time. Let me see you in the next video. Ciao.